I'm now the Assistant Executive Director of the Writers Guild of America East. The Guild represents entertainment and news writers for television, screen, and radio. Today I'm here to speak on behalf of our news writer and producer members to discuss four major concerns: news quality, corporate mergers, localism, and lack of diverse voices. For years, our news writers and producers have voiced their concerns over management cuts to their newsroom resources. They have raised the alarm as news network management have eliminated entire departments of in-house researchers and librarians, leaving no one but the writers or, in some instances, even the graphic artists to fact-check stories. They have fought across-the-board cuts to newsroom staffing, and in every instance, the company cutbacks have most affected local news coverage. Instead of broadcasting well-researched news stories important to the community, short-staffed newsrooms are filling airtime with news stories ripped from the wires, and the wire copy tends to be national and entertainment-based versus local. Our members have reported many examples of the lowering of news quality and local coverage as a result of the new era of media concentration in which we live. One of the most striking examples I'm here to report exists in Los Angeles, where CBS first created a duopoly of KCAL and KCBS TV news stations, and then in January of 2005, CBS combined the two local news outlets into one newsroom. Before combining the KCAL and KCBS newsroom, CBS promised the community and its news staff that they would maintain two very separate newscasts reflecting two community-based news outlets. CBS promised to protect the news quality and local news coverage. Unfortunately, CBS has not kept those promises. In 2005, there were immediate cuts made to the KCAL-KCBS staff, and changes to the newscasts also happened immediately. The Community Affairs Department was one of the first casualties. There is now only one person on staff to serve the purpose of two entire community-based departments. Another casualty of the merger was the Special Investigative Unit. This unit investigates local issues. It was a KCAL special investigation that led to the establishment of new standards for health department inspection of LA restaurants. Post-merger, that unit has been eliminated. This July, just 19 months post-merger, CBS further eroded its newscasts by eliminating 57 news writer producerships a week from their schedule. KCAL-KCBS news writers report that they are now so short-staffed that there is little, if any, time to research stories. The changes I have reported as a result of the KCAL-KCBS duopoly are extreme. However, cuts in news quality and local coverage are everywhere. Our news writer and producer members working for ABC and CBS in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Washington report that they are ordered to lead newscasts with entertainment-style stories. Britney Spears not buckling her infant into a car seat over hard news stories covering the war in Iraq. A writer at ABC reports that they have been told to limit Iraqi coverage to positive news stories, not negative bombings. At CBS, another news writer reports that days have gone by without Iraq coverage because they were told by their manager that such coverage was not newsworthy. Other news writers and producers complain of being led by newsroom management that is not ethnically diverse. At one CBS station, there is not a single African American, Latino, or Asian manager in their newsroom. This lack of diversity in the newsroom contributes to homogenized newscasts. For example, on the night of President Bush's unprecedented speech to move our National Guard to the Mexican border, a CBS news writer reports that in LA, the story was given less than 40 seconds of coverage and was placed 15 minutes into the newscast. There was no news explanation accompanying the 40-second story, and with the Mexican border only 2 hours away, there was notably no news coverage of local reaction. On the same newscast, the station devoted 2 minutes to a package about cosmetic toe surgery for sandal season. Working under a union contract protects news writers and producers across the country. Union protections allow them to voice criticism of news coverage. There have been instances where our members have been subject to discipline for standing up for quality and balanced newscasts. Very recently, one of our members refused to write a segment for the network that featured a single conservative pundit without properly identifying the pundit's leading. The result was a one-day suspension and a disciplinary letter. And but for the union contract, no doubt the outcome would have been a firing. Our Writers Guild News contract also holds the distinction of serving often as the last line of defense against the company creating backdoor duopoly mergers. That is, the company electronically combines two newsrooms to effectively create a single newsroom that serves two separate stations, but they don't tell you the public. They electronically open the exchange of work product, and then the reduction of personnel quietly occurs. In New York City and LA, CBS has already attempted to combine the newsrooms of the #1 and the #2 news radio stations in each city. In both cases, the only thing that has stopped CBS's plan was the Writers Guild of America contract, which protects its members' work and represents a substantial obstacle to backdoor mergers. And even as I talk about this, the contract protections I speak of are under attack. Members of CBS have been working under an expired contract for almost 18 months, and at ABC, our members have worked almost 20 months under an expired contract. In both negotiations, the sticking point has been the company's demand to remove news writer-producers, the people who oversee the actual lineup of the news, and the people who serve as the last-line defense against airing of biased and inaccurate stories from the union, further eroding any protection that these employees may have to exercise objective news judgment. We have responded to these attacks by bringing the localism and FCC public interest obligation to the bargaining table, as well as by taking our message to public forums such as this one. And in response, CBS and ABC management have told us that our membership do not have a say in news coverage or quality. They repeatedly state to us that they have no obligation to serve any public interest, that if they choose, they have told us they may substitute entertainment shows for news programs.